Welcome to the Screenplay Table Read. We will be reading the 3 finalist scripts for the short screenplay competition, and you've received voting forms, so you may vote for your favorite screenplay this afternoon. The winner will be announced tonight at 9 p.m. at the awards ceremony at the Myriad Gardens Grand Lawn. The winning author will receive a $250 cash prize, and the theater that reads the winner will also receive a $250 cash prize. Our 3 finalists are I Love You, Me Neither, written by Sarah Lee Monroe, read by Oklahoma Children's Theater. The Swing, written by Jennifer White, read by Reduction Theater Company. Lightning Round, written by Ted Satterfield, read by City Rep, the Oklahoma City Repertory Theater. And we are so fortunate to have the authors with us today, Ted Satterfield and Jennifer White. Yes, let's give them a round of applause. Sarah could not join us today, and we're sad for that, but before we begin the reading, I do want to mention that if we do have any young audience members with parents or guardians, the 3rd and final script being read today does have some mature themes and dialogue, so parents and guardians, please use your discretion in that respect.
Fade in. Interior pool. Slinky waters, ripples, gyrate. They take the shape of a human body, then become 2 bodies intertwined in sensual embrace. Woman, voiceover.
Did you imagine what I look like?
Man, voiceover.
Yes.
What did you see?
Every curve.
The curve of my knees?
Yes.
What did you think?
They're lovely.
The curve of my neck. Did you like it?
Yes, you're very soft there.
And my hips?
Exquisite.
What's your favorite curve?
Probably your smile.
Underwater. The pool is empty and tranquil. A small, balled-up form shoots a path through the blue water, ending in a mushroom cloud of bubbles. The child unfurls his limbs and paddles. 2 more similar forms drop in, followed by another and another.
I really like you, Oscar. I want to meet you in person.
The swarm of children spread out to the pool walls, forming a giant space for Oscar to land in. A wave of water jerks everyone's heads back. The bubbles dissipate, revealing a Refrigerator Perry-sized man.
I swim at the Y tomorrow. They have a cafe. We could meet for lunch at noon.
The children all swarm around him. Some playfully try to tip him over. Oscar plays the big teddy bear. Interior, break room. Grace, late 30s, heavy with a voluptuous figure, cradles the phone to her ear, keeping it private, though she is alone in the bland, white break room. A pair of white nurse shoes lay next to her bare feet. She slides 1 toe along the arch of her opposite foot.
The why? Okay.
Her feet stop.
I need to tell you something before we meet, and you can change your mind. I'll understand. Really, I mean it.
You can tell me.
Interior, hospital room. Grace's focused and pretty eyes. She performs her task tenderly and reassures her patient with a smile from behind her mask.
Since my divorce, it's been hard sometimes. It's no excuse, but I've gained a lot of weight. I mean, I'm normally not this big.
Interior, hospital corridor. Grace appears from one room, checks the chart at the door of another room, and enters. Appears again, moving on to the next room and the next.
Grace, I'm glad we met this way because I'm getting to know you. Who knows? Maybe you see me and think I'm an ogre and I smell.
Oh, Oscar, I'm just saying, you can always change your...
I imagine you wearing yellow. Dress, maybe.
Interior, hospital break room. 2 nurses are deep in gossip. Grace takes the end chair at the table and unpacks her lunch. The nurses nod hello as they pass by to leave. A commercial ends on the television in the back. A NASA documentary begins. Grace checks the room to be sure she's alone. Underneath the table, she slyly slips her shoes off, one by one, and slides the ball of her foot over the arch of the other, back and forth. On television, the massive blue Earth fills the screen, slowly rotating in space. Astronauts in puffy white spacesuits float and spin freely, suspended in 0 gravity. Grace loses herself in the picture. Her cell phone ringtone brings her back from outer space. She checks the caller ID. It's a welcome interruption. She pauses to enjoy the name on her phone before answering.
Hey, you.
Exterior, mall nail salon, next day. Grace emerges with first date written all over. New do, new yellow summer dress, and freshly manicured nails and toes. Exterior, mall elevator. Grace waits with the lunch hour crowd. An elevator car opens and quickly fills. Among a few left behind, Grace begins toward the next open car, but it's half full. A woman sees her coming and rolls her eyes, disapproving Grace's size. She edges to the side to make room, never breaking eye contact. Grace lets the other riders push ahead of her for the vacancy. Last one left, she finds the stairs instead. Interior, stairwell. Grace climbs up and around to parking level 2. Her breathing quickens, and she rounds parking level 3. She holds the rail going up the last flight to parking level 4. A bit flushed, she walks through the cavernous lot toward her car, but it isn't there. She checks further on and around to the adjacent rows, but no car among the vast sea of cars is hers. Interior stairwell. Grace takes the stairs down to parking level 3. She scans the lot, but the far east corner where her car would be is clearly vacant. She climbs back up the stairwell to parking level 5. But this far east corner is occupied by delivery trucks. Scanning the rows, nothing looks familiar and everything the same. She climbs up the next flight to parking level 6. But the rows and rows of cars are indistinguishable from the last parking level. She looks up the spiral tower. It is endless. She takes a moment to rest in the dim vertical maze, out of breath and not sweating. A small patch of sunlight hits her eyes from above where the top of the stairwell opens up to the parking roof level. Grace emerges. Out of habit, she scans the lot. She's completely alone. The view beyond the rooftop expands to the distant horizon. Grace approaches the edge and slips her strappy sandals off one by one. She slides the ball of her foot over the arch of the other, back and forth. The view of the city below spreads out before her. The rooftops of office buildings, the river and bridges, and eventually the repetitious suburban skyline. Directly below, tiny figures move like indistinguishable ants in a maze. So high up, it's peaceful. It's almost quiet, with the muted sound of traffic and bustling sidewalk in the faint background. Grace fills her chest with long, slow breaths of air. She lets the breeze blow over her dampened face. She gathers her hair and lifts it off her neck. She gazes into the blue universe. She pinches the shoulders of her blouse and fans the breeze inside to cool the rest. Interior elevator. Grace just makes it into the car, occupied by a group of wise-ass teenage boys. They eye her, then each other. One snickers under his breath. She doesn't care. The car lurches down and the floor suddenly drops from under the riders. For a brief moment, they are weightless. Grace lets out a pleasantly surprised,
Oh.
coming somewhere from within her belly. The boys are newly curious about the woman as she steps out onto parking level 3. Grace checks the parking spot again and can now see bits of shattered glass along the white parking strip where her car should be. She checks her watch. Interior, bus. Grace tidies herself in her compact and repositions errant strands of hair. Interior, YMC Cafe. A tall glass of iced tea arrives at Oscar's table. Oscar's eyes are on the entrance. Greta, 22 years old, a little bored, but smart and sincere, lingers.
Extra ice, just the way you like it.
Mixed by the loveliest of lovelies, just the way I like it.
Greta appreciates the compliment and sets her tray on the table.
Well, you're my favorite customer, you know.
And the envy of thousands of men. It's mystifying. A nice girl like you and single?
Thoughts of actual men in her life momentarily dulls her eyes.
It's unfair, really. They just never measure up to you.
She takes the tray back.
You're here early. Lunch date?
The next fine woman to walk in, it's her lucky day.
I'd say. Take it easy, Oscar.
Be good.
Oscar sits back, satisfied. Exterior, YMCA. Grace fearlessly approaches the glassed cafe. She peers inside the glass wall. A pair of workout buddies, a mother with 2 children and an exceptionally heavy man. There are no other men. Under the heavy man's seat, a fresh bouquet of yellow flowers wait for Grace. It's Oscar. Grace turns away from the glass and leans against the concrete wall. She turns to look inside again. Interior, YMC Cafe. Oscar eyes the clock out of the corner of his eye. Exterior, YMCA. Grace walks away in a trance. Interior, YMCA Cafe. Oscar pushes the ice down in his glass with his straw. The cubes float back up to the surface. He checks the clock. Exterior, city sidewalk. Grace bumps into pedestrians moving against the current of foot traffic. A blue-collar man ogles her up and down. She quickly diminishes her presence and huddles down on the park stop bench. Interior cafe. Oscar looks over at the clock. He pulls out his cell and hits buttons. Interior city bus. Rush hour and packed. Grace is smushed in a window seat. Phone rings. She looks down at her purse. The phone rings again. Her eyes can't help looking if anyone notices her. The phone rings again. She discreetly muffles her purse with both arms and stares straight ahead, but can't help her eyes from watering a little bit. Interior cafe. Oscar listens to the last ring.
Sorry I missed your call, but if you...
Oscar closes his cell. Interior service counter. Jax, a tidy man in his 40s, radiates endorphins.
Oscar, how's it going, big guy?
Can't complain, can't complain.
All right, man, keep on keeping on.
Interior men's shower. A tiled cavern of vacant shower stalls. Oscar fits himself into one. A stream of water hits his face. He lowers his crown under the spray. Streams of water swirl into the drain at Oscar's feet. Down below, it echoes hollow. Interior, exercise room. Treadmills and ellipticals whir. A row of runners face floor-to-ceiling glass overlooking the pool area.
Oh my God, look at that guy. Look,
Where? Oh, my.
down there.
Interior pool. Oscar surveys the pool. The chaos of water splashing, children playing, diving boards vibrating. A man leading water aerobics at the far end pool waves him hello. It seems miles away. Oscar's foot swings out and forward. His other foot follows. Children swarm over the water structure. A 4-year-old boy runs right up under Oscar's belly and pokes his finger into his stomach.
You're fat, mister.
Oscar pats him on the head and moves on. A group of seniors bob up and down in unison, straddling styrofoam noodles. A couple of the women eye Oscar sideways and then avert their gaze politely. Sweat beads form on Oscar's brow. The far end pool doesn't seem any closer. Oscar stops, panting lightly, and turns toward the entrance. Strong young divers arch through the air, momentarily suspended in flight. Oscar stops and watches. He turns back to the long walk. Interior underwater. Columns of light glisten under blue water. It is still and quiet. Oscar glides through the serene aqua world. His liberated body undulates with the waves. He is beautiful. Interior city bus. Grace rides solemnly along with the commuters. A small girl, 4 years old, little lady, licks a kitty ice cream cone, absent-minded. An older boy, the 6-year-old version of Oscar, envies her cone from across the aisle. The bus lurches. The girl loses her hold of the cone. It lands on the ground, ice cream smushed on one side with the dunce-cap cone pointing out. The boy watches the girl pick up the cone and carefully right the melting ball of ice cream. Pieces of gravel stick to the top like chocolate chip sprinkles. The boy checks both their mothers. Hers chats away with a stranger, and his is zoned out. Just as the girl brings the cone to her mouth, the boy stops her hand. He assures her with a steady gaze as he takes the cone from her. With the bottom tail of his shirt, he wipes the cone clean, transferring gravel and gooey streaks of vanilla ice cream onto himself. He offers the girl her cone back. She accepts with both hands, taking care not to lose it again. The girl licks the cone. She smiles to him. It tastes good. Grace adores the boy as he returns to his mother's side. Someone cracks the window above Grace, letting in a cool breeze. She turns to the view out of the window. The jagged city skyline blurs past. She follows the landscape up to the horizon and then higher until her view is just the deep blue sky. Insert Grace's fantasy. The sky becomes deep blue water. Legs scissor in a slow-motion ballet dance. The yellow hem of her dress flutters in the current. Her feet work her sandals off, leaving them behind to float away. Back to scene. Grace's far-off eyes come into focus. Her hand reaches for the bus stop cable and pulls. Interior pool. Two hands grasp the curved metal handrail and pull up. Oscar emerges from the pool. Water cascades off his body. What was once a figure moving freely through water is now burdened by gravity. Oscar sets his sights on something at the opposite end of the pool. He watches without moving. He sees Grace in a yellow dress through the crowd of children, old ladies, and divers. She waits for him dripping wet in a puddle of water. The end.
Over black, Charlie voiceover.
Emma?
Interior living room day. Charlie McGeary's 85-year-old hand unlocks the deadbolt and turns the doorknob. Over black, voiceover.
Emma, I'm going for a walk.
Exterior apartment complex day. Front door ajar. Charlie labors down the sidewalk. Nosy elderly neighbor Mrs. Sanders peeks out her curtains. Charlie's feet leave the curb. Charlie joyfully watches a bird soar above him. The blare of horns, squeal of tires. Interior advertising agency day. Super, 2:45 p.m., Houston, Texas. Quiet but tense. Emma McGeary, 25, blonde junior college graduate, care on her face that makes her look older than she is.
Do you have that mock-up ready yet?
Not yet.
Harris has to have it by 3.
Emma's fingers are flying as fast as they can. The phone rings.
Emma McGeary.
Interior Mrs. Sanders' apartment day. Well-preserved but old furniture. Theme song to Jeopardy plays in the background.
Emma, this is Mrs. Saunders.
Intercut between Emma and Mrs. Sanders as...
Yes?
I thought I'd let you know your grandfather's in trouble again.
What is it?
Well, he was wandering around the apartment complex. I tried to find my coat and go after him, but it was too late. A police officer picked him up.
No, not today.
I'm sorry. I wish I could help out more, but I have so much to do.
Thanks, Mrs. Sanders. I'll take care of it.
Emma hangs up and resumes typing. Interior conference room day. Wall clock reads 3:06. Mr. Harris, an intimidating person, and several cookie-cutter co-workers around the table. Emma walks in.
Nice of you to join us, Miss McGeary.
Emma hands the mock-up to Mr. Harris.
I'm sorry, Mr. Harris, but my grandfather is in trouble, and I need to go take care of him.
Not now. We have to go over our pitch for the Children's Miracle Network.
Mr. Harris, he's lost. I have to go.
How many times have you had to leave work this week? I think you need to decide what's really important to you, Miss McGeary.
The police are waiting on me.
Harris and co-workers' eyes get as big as if she just said she was a crack dealer. Interior police station day. Local, lower middle class precinct. Round officer with coffee doing paperwork at the counter.
I'm looking for my grandfather, Charlie McGeary.
McGeary? No, not on the list.
He's 85 years old. He was picked up in the middle of 33rd Street around 2:30 today.
Okay, your John Doe was turned over to Adult Protective Services about a half hour ago.
What do I have to do?
Interior, Adult Protective Services day. Emma sits across the desk from caseworker Michelle Brown. Charlie sits against the wall as the women talk.
Miss McGeary, you understand how serious this is? It's a miracle he wasn't killed. He can't be left alone. What do you intend to do to make sure this never happens again?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have the money to pay someone to stay with him, and I'm about to lose my job over it.
What about other family members?
There aren't any. My mom was his only child, and she died about 2 months ago. I'm all he has.
I see. Look, this isn't easy, and there are a lot of people going through the same thing, but you have to do something. If you need referrals or questions, you can call me. There's also a support group on your side of town. Here's their number.
Michelle hands Emma 2 business cards. One is hers. One reads, "Caring for aging parents, there is help. Contact Tony Baldwin, available 24 hours." Exterior, Emma's apartment, sunset. Emma helps Charlie out of the car. The front seat of her car and his clothes are soiled. She closes the car door and helps him to the apartment. He leans on her heavily. Interior, bathroom, night. She changes Charlie's clothes and cleans him up, but in the process he falls and hurts himself. The phone rings as she helps him up. She can't get to it. Interior, living room, night. Easy chair next to end table with lamp. Picture of Emma's mom, Charlie's daughter, Sarah, on the table. After Charlie is situated in the easy chair with the remote, she slips around the corner. Interior, Emma's bedroom, night. Shades of cream and pink. Handmade quilts on a stand in the corner. Phone on the nightstand. Emma checks the caller ID and dials the number.
Hi, it's Emma. Sorry, I missed your call. What's up? Oh, I'd love to see that movie, but I don't think so. Well, this just isn't a good time. Can I take a rain check?
Intercut between Emma and Charlie as...
Emma?
No, I can't make it this weekend either. I'm not sure when I'll have time.
Emma!
Just a minute, Grandpa. Can I just call you later?
Emma!
I've got to go, okay? Okay, bye.
Emma hangs up and returns to the living room. Interior, living room, night. Charlie is where she left him.
Yes, Grandpa?
Emma, I want to go for a walk.
Grandpa, we just went for a walk, didn't we?
Okay.
What show do you want to watch? How about Matlock? If you want to change it, just use the remote, okay?
Charlie watches TV. Interior, kitchen, night. Emma goes into the kitchen to get dinner started. The cabinets are not full, and neither is the refrigerator. She pulls out eggs to scramble.
How about eggs and toast, Grandpa?
Okay.
As butter melts in the skillet, there is a loud crash in the living room. Emma rushes from the stove. Interior, living room, night. Charlie has knocked over the lamp. The lamp, figurine, and picture frame that were on the end table are now in fragments on the floor.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay, Grandpa. It's okay. Are you hurt?
His hand is cut. She gets a washcloth from the bathroom to clean it and puts a Band-Aid on.
That's better. Everything's okay.
She puts a smile on. Suddenly she smells smoke and looks toward the kitchen.
Oh my God.
Interior, kitchen, night. The butter has burned and the skillet is shooting up smoke. Emma grabs the pan and puts it into the sink, turning the faucet on it. Emma holds on to the countertop and takes a breath. Interior, living room, night. Charlie eats SpaghettiOs. Emma kneels on the floor, picking up the broken pieces and her mom's picture from the carpet. She looks up at Charlie. Deep lines around Charlie's face, neck, and hands. His fingernails need trimming, and his hands shake.
His expression does not change, as if he's not really seeing. For a moment, Emma is lost in bitter contemplation about his future. She puts the pieces in the trash. Interior, bathroom, night. Emma's in the shower, trying to rinse her cares away in the hot water. Interior, Charlie's room, night. Light from the hallway falls across Charlie in bed. He tosses around, trying to get up, reaching for something too far away. Interior, bathroom, night. Steam fogs the room.
Emma's shampooing her hair. A pounding thud shakes the walls.
Grandpa!
Grabbing a towel around her, she jumps out of the shower, suds and all, big wet footprints left behind her. Interior, Charlie's room, night. Emma flips on the light. Charlie is twisted on the floor.
Grandpa, are you hurt? What happened?
Still reaching.
I need my water.
Oh, Grandpa.
Soap stings Emma's eyes as she untangles his legs, tries to hoist him up, but can't. She fretfully tries to figure out what to do, looks at the clock, 11:08. Emma takes his pillows and blankets off the bed and makes him comfortable where he lies. She gets the glass of water and helps him drink.
Grandpa, I'm gonna let you sleep right here tonight. In the morning, I'll ask someone to come help us get you up again, okay?
I want to sleep in my bed.
I can't lift you, Grandpa.
I want my bed.
I'm not strong enough. I'm sorry. We'll find a way in the morning. Are you warm enough?
Taking the glass with her, she turns out the light and pulls the door.
Good night, Grandpa.
Interior, bathroom, night. Emma cries as she rinses out what's left of her shampoo. Interior, living room, night. Turning off the lights, Emma looks out the window into the clear night. She peeks in to make sure Charlie is asleep, then grabs her jacket, keys, and cell and walks outside. Exterior, playground, night. Emma walks aimlessly through the apartment complex until she reaches the playground. The swings sway in the wind. She looks to see if anyone is around, goes to sit on a swing. She sways on her toes. She lightly kicks off. The swing takes her higher until... Flashback, interior, Sarah's car, day. May 1987. Sarah, 31, blonde, drives a blue Nova down a country road near Merriam, Texas. 6-year-old Emma is small in the back seat.
Now, Emma, be a good girl for your grandma and grandpa, you hear me?
She looks at Emma through the rearview mirror.
Why can't you come too, Mama?
Sarah twists the wedding band on her finger as her hands resting on the steering wheel.
Because your grandparents want to spend some special alone time just with you.
Flashback, exterior grandparents' farmhouse, day. The car turns into the long driveway and pulls up to the farmhouse. Charlie, 66, and Audrey, 65, wait on the porch. Emma jumps out to greet them, then goes into the house with Audrey. Charlie greets Sarah with a hug.
How you doing, darling?
Sarah gives him a mock smile.
You haven't told her, have you?
I just can't, Dad.
Sarah.
How do you tell your 6-year-old daughter that her daddy's not sure he wants to be her daddy anymore? Let her be happy as long as she can be.
Flashback, exterior grandparents' farmhouse, night. Light from inside and the sound of the phone ringing drift onto the porch through the open door. The screen door creaks open as Emma exits the house in her pajamas. Audrey off screen.
Don't stay out long, Emma.
Okay, Grandma.
She twirls under the sparkling sky and strolls over to the swing. The screen door faintly bangs behind Charlie as he steps onto the porch, watching Emma. Charlie approaches the swing set.
May I join you?
Sure.
Charlie takes the swing next to her and rocks.
I think your mama's gonna join us soon.
Really?
Yeah. Emma, there's something I need to talk to you about.
He slows her swing and puts his hand over hers.
What is it, Grandpa?
Now, this is really hard for me to tell you, sweetheart, because it hurts a lot, and it's hard to understand. But your daddy is gonna go away, and he is not gonna come back.
Is he going on another business trip?
Your mom and dad are not gonna be married anymore, Emma. Your daddy is gonna go away, and your mama is gonna stay with you and take care of you.
Why?
Now, it doesn't make any sense. If we don't understand it, I don't know how we can help you understand. Your mama is really sad right now, and it's okay for you to be sad too.
Emma is crying. Charlie pulls her off her swing and onto his lap.
You cry all you want, precious child. But even if we don't understand why this is happening, there's one thing I do want you to understand. You are always loved. I love you, Grandma loves you, Mama loves you, and we're gonna stick together to get through this, okay?
Emma nods into his chest.
I'm hoping that maybe you can help me. I'm gonna try to be really brave and help your mama not be so sad. You think you could be brave and help her too?
Emma looks up into his gentle eyes. She bravely nods yes. He pulls her close and rocks her. Audrey watches with tear-filled eyes from the porch. Flashback, exterior farmhouse, day. Sarah's car is in the driveway. Charlie, Emma, and Audrey silently rock on the porch swing in the morning sun. Sarah comes out of the house. Emma jumps up.
Mama!
Sarah scoops her up.
Come on, you two.
He scoots to the middle to make room. Sarah sits with Emma on her lap. Charlie puts his arms around Audrey and Sarah, pulling them all close.
Gotta have all my girls close to me.
He plants a kiss on Sarah's forehead. Exterior, playground, night. The swing chain is cold against Emma's face. She pulls her hand out of her pocket with the 2 business cards from APS, the support group card on top. With her other hand, she pulls out her cell phone and begins to dial.
Hello? Tony? I'm sorry to call so late. My name's Emma McGeary. I got your card from Michelle at APS. You are? You feel like having a cup of coffee?
She gets up and walks toward home as she talks. The swing sways empty in the deserted playground behind her. Interior coffee shop night. Emma wipes tears and nervously fidgets as she shares a cup of coffee and her story in a booth with Tony Baldwin, 50, patient, soft-spoken, kind eyes.
Sounds to me like you love him a lot and you're doing your best.
I don't even know where to begin figuring out what to do. I would die if I had to put him in a nursing home, but if that's my only option...
Fortunately, it's not. Some people arrange to work from home, some arrange for their loved ones to go to an adult daycare while they're at work. Emma, it's also really important to plan time for yourself. You can't take care of him if you don't take care of you. Do you go to church?
Not in a while.
This might be a good time to get involved again. A lot of churches have volunteers who can relieve you for a few hours a week so that you can see a movie, get your hair done, or do the shopping. Our support group actually started as an outreach of our church. You are welcome at any time. Being around others with the same struggles might bring you strength and help you recharge.
The waitress brings the check. Emma reaches for it.
No, coffee's on me. You're not alone, Emma. You're gonna be fine. And you will make the right decisions for him, whatever you need. You call, okay?
Okay.
Laying out a couple of bills, Tony sees Emma's fatigue. Her hand meets Emma's with a reassuring squeeze. Interior, Emma's bedroom, day. Emma rearranges the furniture and creates a workspace for herself. She stuffs an envelope with a fresh resume. Interior, living room, day. Knock at the door. Emma answers.
Emma? I'm Mrs. Henderson from St. Michael's.
Off screen, Charlie's drinking glass shatters on the tile floor.
Come on in, Mrs. Henderson.
Emma turns to take care of Charlie as Mrs. Henderson closes the door. Interior, Emma's apartment, night. Emma opens the front door with groceries and enters the apartment to find Mrs. Henderson helping Charlie cook his dinner. He is very responsive and engaged. Exterior, playground, day. Emma and Charlie make their way slowly down the sidewalk toward the playground. Charlie points at the swings.
Let's swing.
Grandpa.
He has a look of delight on his face at the thought.
Come on, Emma.
Emma helps him sit on a swing.
You want me to push you?
No. Come swing with me.
They swing side by side.
Gotta have my girl close to me.
Emma looks into his face with tears in her eyes.
We're gonna stick together. Aren't we, Grandpa?
Yes, precious child. We are.
Emma leans and drops her head on his shoulder. Children laugh and play around them. The sun sets, fade out.
Lightning Round by Ted Satterfield. Interior, small apartment, night. Nathan and Katie, a couple both around the age of 30, are sitting on a couch in the living room of Katie's apartment. Nathan leans in to kiss Katie, and she quickly turns her head away.
Nathan, I'm serious. I don't want to do that yet.
Yo, come on. We've bonded enough for one night.
No, we haven't. We are going to make it through a proper conversation before we do anything physical.
But it's getting kinda late.
So?
So? You're off work tomorrow. My bastard boss is forcing me to come in on a Sunday.
He leans in again, and she distances herself by standing up and walking to the other side of the living room.
No, this is not healthy.
You wanna talk unhealthy? How about this case of blue balls you're giving me?
Really? I haven't heard that since junior high.
I might as well be in junior high. I can't remember the last time I had to work so hard to get a kiss.
He gets up and walks toward her. He leans in again for a kiss, and she moves away.
Look, we're on date, 8? And all we've done is have sex.
And?
You wrote on your online profile that you were looking for something more than casual dating. Has that changed?
No.
Okay. I really think this relationship could go somewhere, and frankly, I'm looking for something more than a bonk buddy.
Nathan plops on the couch.
All right. but we're just cutting into foreplay time, which I think we would both agree affects you more than me.
Katie sits back down beside him.
Just a little longer.
I said okay. Let's get going. What do you want to know?
I don't know. I don't want this to turn into something like a lightning round on a crappy game show.
Yeah. Let's do exactly that.
What?
Let's do a lightning round and reveal the crucial stuff first.
What do you mean by crucial stuff?
You know, the junk people never disclose until deep into a relationship. But we'll just get it all out there.
That's not really what I had in mind.
I know, but it'll be like jumping into a cold swimming pool. We'll just jump in and get it over with. If it works, we'll move the relationship along faster.
But if it doesn't work and we don't like what we find out...
Exactly! We'll keep from wasting time. Didn't you just say you really think this relationship could go somewhere?
Right.
Well, maybe we can find out tonight.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
He rushes over to a desk across the room. He rips 2 pages out of a notebook, grabs pencils, and heads back to the couch. He pushes a stack of magazines off the coffee table and puts a piece of paper in front of each of them.
Here's how it'll work. You write down 5 things you want to know about me, and I'll write down 5 things I want to know about you.
And then what?
That's it for now. Just write them down as quickly as you can, starting now.
No, wait, anything?
Anything.
Okay, now.
The 2 put their pencils to the paper and write furiously. After a few seconds, Nathan slams his pencil down.
Done! I win!
I didn't know it was a race.
It's really not, but if you put too much thought into it, you'll ruin the spirit of the whole thing. I'll give you another 30 seconds.
30 seconds? That's not enough.
You're at 26 seconds now.
She starts writing frantically.
Damn it!
10, 9, 8.
I need one more.
7, 6. You better write something down. 5.
I can't think of another one.
4, 3. You're gonna lose a question.
She quickly scribbles something and slams her pencil down.
Done.
Ooh. I think we'll have to do an instant replay on that last one. I'm not sure you got it in under the buzzer.
Well, first, I did write it down in time. And 2, my last question sucks, so I really don't care if it's ruled as ineligible.
I think the judges would be willing to let it slide just this time.
What judges?
Just play along.
All right, what do we do now, Trebek?
Okay. I'll ask you my questions, and you have to shout out the answer without thinking. You only have 2 seconds to answer.
2 seconds. Okay, let's do this.
All right, let's start the lightning round.
He stands up and towers over her like an attorney, cross-examining a witness.
Ready, set, go. First question. How old were you when you lost your virginity?
16.
Next question. How old were you when you had your first orgasm?
Let's see, 19? Are they all about sex?
Shush! I'll ask the questions. Next, how old were you the first time you masturbated?
Must have been about 15 the first time I tried, but...
15's your answer. That's all the judges need. Question 4. Have you ever eaten a booger?
I'm sure when I was a little kid.
The answer is yes. Question 5. Do you enjoy the smell of your own farts?
I can't breathe.
Just answer the question.
I can't.
Answer it, you're out of time.
Okay. No. No, I don't like the smell of my own farts. That's disgusting.
I'm not sure it's an honest answer. I don't think the judges will accept it.
I don't give a rat's ass what the judges think. It's the truth.
Okay, I'll accept it. Well, I feel I know you pretty well. Let's go bang.
He starts walking towards the bedroom. She grabs him by the arm and pulls him down onto the couch.
No. It's your turn to face the lightning round.
Katie grabs her paper with her questions and stands up to assume the cross-examination position.
All right. My questions are a little more serious than yours, so I hope I don't disappoint you. But anyway, here they go.
Bring it on, Booger Eater.
He kisses his biceps one at a time. Like a professional wrestler.
All right. Question number 1. When did you lose your virginity?
Both our first question. 17.
Okay. When was your first kiss?
I was 14, back of the school bus with Candace Ford. Next.
Question 3. When was the last time you were under the influence of a drug other than alcohol?
Good question. In college, years ago, I tried cocaine at a party and decided I liked it far too much to ever do it again. Next question.
Interesting. Where am I? Question 4. Where were you born?
Really? That's what you want to know?
Not really. I wrote this gym down when you started rushing me.
What a waste of a perfectly good question. I was born in Norman. Final question.
Okay, this one I wrote down last second, and it's dumb, so you really don't have to answer it.
Yes, I do. Those are the rules. What's the question?
Do you believe in God?
No.
Really?
You don't get a sixth question.
I'm just a little surprised. I haven't met too many atheists, and I'm pretty sure you're the first one I've ever heard of in Oklahoma.
Does that bother you?
No, I guess not.
Are you religious?
Not really. Well, sort of, but not really.
Either you're religious or you're not.
Well, I guess I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic, but it's been forever since I've attended Mass, and I don't want to think about how long it's been since I went to confession, so I still believe in God, but...
But you don't act like it.
Well, that was kind of a dickish way to say it.
I didn't mean it that way. This conversation has sure killed the mood. You want to talk about something else?
No, it's fine. That's why we did this, right?
I guess. So, me being an atheist doesn't bother you?
Well, honestly, I guess it does a little. But it's not a deal breaker, at least not at this stage. And it's better than dating some religious wingnut who goes to church 20 times a week. What?
You ready for the exciting twist?
What?
I go to church at least 3 times a week.
Huh?
In fact, I really don't have to work in the morning. I'll actually be at church.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
No. But I want to make sure I heard you. You're an atheist?
Yep.
You don't believe in God?
No.
No
I don't.
Jehovah? No Jesus? No Allah?
No, and no.
No Krishna? No Vishnu? No Buddha?
No Zeus, no Venus, no Shirley MacLaine.
Well, I don't even know what that means, but you still go to church?
Yes.
You not only go to church, but you go multiple times a week, which means you're a very dedicated churchgoer.
Correct. You want me to explain?
Yeah, you can't drop a bomb like that and not explain.
Well, I guess there's not too much to explain. When I was a kid, my parents went to church most Sundays and all that, but when I grew up and started to really think about all that in a reasonable way, I just stopped believing. But when I stopped believing, I couldn't stop going. I started going even more. I've grown to sort of freakishly like church. I can't explain it any further.
So you just show up and fake it?
Yeah, I sort of treat it like an elaborate role-playing game, but instead of unlocking secret passages and acquiring wizard skills, I show up and sing songs and pray. So, based on your silence, I'm guessing I've scared you off?
Surprisingly, no. I mean, not yet. We all have our weird shit.
We do? Huh. Well, that makes me wonder.
What?
Well, I know the lightning round is over, but may I ask what weirdness you have lurking out of sight?
Well, I do have to admit I lied earlier.
About what?
I really do like the smell of my farts.
I knew it!
Well, not all the time, but you know, sometimes.
Yeah, I knew it! I think everybody does, but no one will admit it.
But I think the most shocking thing about me is I'm sort of secretly turned on by men who engage in weird, eccentric, puzzling behavior. And my dear, in that department, you take the cliched cake.
I can see that. Anything else weird I should know about?
Sure. I have a phobia of pickles.
That's nothing. I have an addiction to sour candy, and when I mean addiction, I mean addiction. Once I get started, I eat them until my mouth bleeds.
That's gross. Well, I have seen every episode of The Simpsons at least 30 times.
I'm kind of attracted to Joan Rivers.
I think I have family in the mafia.
I know I have family in the Tea Party.
When I was a child, I stuck a crayon so far up my nose it required surgery.
When I was a teenager, I had to have surgery to widen my urethra. Twice.
Ooh. No wonder you stopped believing.
Anything else you want to know? Or share?
Nah, I'm good for now.
Well, aren't you glad we did this?
I'm not sure. Since I think we might be the first people on Earth who've ever tried this, it could be genius, and it could be idiotic.
You make a good point. Well, how about we finally move our little get-to-know-you conversation into the bedroom?
Good idea. I've got some weird things to show you in there, too.
I like the sound of that. But won't that mean you'll have to go to confession?
If things go right, we'll both have to go to confession.
Blackout.
I think for me, it just out of personal experience, not necessarily with Alzheimer's as a disease, but mainly with, just being a child of divorce and those sort of experiences, and then in my adult life from really, I just wanted to write something that would help people to feel like they weren't alone if they were completely hopeless, if they felt like they were against a wall, that they had no other options. I just wanted to write something that had hope.
It just seemed funny to me. I don't know how to. I have a weird sense of humor, and I wrote a short story a few years ago that I went back and read recently, and the lightning round aspect was a very small part of that short story. And when I went back and reread it, the entire short story didn't seem that interesting to me, but the lightning round part did. So I went back and wrote an entire, short screenplay based on the lightning round idea, which I think is a very interesting way for people to get to know one another, and is completely fiction, by the way. That's not how I got to know my wife. My in-laws are in the crowd, so I want to make sure that's clear. Fiction. Right? Except for the pickle part, by the way. That I really do. No joke. I have a phobia of pickles. Don't I, Melanie? Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes.
Have you had any of your previous work filmed?
I haven't, no. But I would like to make this into a short sometime this summer. If anybody's interested in participating in that, let me know. But anyway, yeah, I haven't.
I was very fortunate that this was actually my capstone screenwriting project at OCCC, and so I was able to film it. It's almost completed, not quite, but yes, so I've been very fortunate. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
For the two actors, what did you guys think when you first read it?
I personally, it reminded me of conversations my girlfriend and I would have, from calling each other Booger Eater, talking about the farts. I loved it. Yeah.
It's good to hear.
I loved it too. I thought that it was fun and real, and it's definitely an authentic conversation that people have. I was mortified of having to talk about my farts.
I'm so sorry. Right? I'm so sorry.
Fiction.
Fiction. Yeah.
I think the blushing was real though.
Any other questions? What's next?
For me, I'm actually working on a feature-length screenplay that I almost finished right before I came here. So I'm going to finish that up, and I'm not sure what I'll do with that. But then, like I said, I'm going to try to make this into a short sometime this summer. So that's what's next for me.
Excellent. I'm also working on a feature. It's kind of a rom-com, but I'm also working on a children's story as well.
Final questions?
The experience of hearing your words come alive with actors.
It's weird.
Weird?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah. Well, I mean, my weird little world, my thoughts in front of people. That's my experience. Mine's a little bit different than yours, so.
I loved it. I mean, we've already shot my short, but this was a completely different experience than being on set. And the actors were wonderful. They made me cry. I was up there just wiping my tears away. So I so appreciate them doing this. This was just, it was very special to me.
Right. This was great, and you two did fantastic. I really love what you did with it. So.
Thank you.
Well, are there any other questions? Then let's give them a round